I wanted to kind of tell you how my experience has gone trying to find some YouTubers to watch that are Christian and that might have the same gifts I have. I learned about deliverance and just the idea of that more recently through YouTube. So I just wanted to give my opinion and my experience doing that as somebody who has spiritual gifts as well. Let me first just say, right now, where God has me in my life, I don't have a desire to look like these people on YouTube do. Let me just say, I don't, for lack of better words, what I have seen, particularly with the deliverance ministry stuff, I don't want to be like that. If God, has in his will that I would heal someone one day, I'm sure he would tell me or lead me to that. But I've never had a desire to try to be seen as this high up person. I just don't. I would like basic respect, I guess, and I think everybody does. But to be calling yourself an apostle, calling yourself a prophet for doing things that are not even prophetic and are not even, some people are just lying. For example, so I'll start with this guy named Lovy. This guy, he's high level danger when it comes to false prophets. Like, a lot of people are just making videos about it, calling him out, this and that. He's bad. Like, bad. Like, I saw this man shimmy, like I'm not even kidding. He's shimmying, and this girl, okay, let me start. If you don't know what deliverance is, apparently it's when you lay hands on somebody, or you are using your energy to push someone or make them fall out, or to call a demon out of them, things like that. You may be familiar with it if you've ever seen anything like that in the churches, where it's like, people coming up to the front, people falling out, and sometimes the demon is talking to the pastor through the person, things like that. What's obvious to me, and how maybe God is showing me, is that, obviously people are just taking things that happened in the Bible and like, they're either mimicking it, like lying about it, or they're trying to do it again. And then, like, there's manipulation in it, because they're like, well, the apostles did it in the Bible, and it says right here that we all can do it, so I'm doing it. And that's just really manipulative, and again, dangerous, because when you get somebody like Lovy, I started off watching other people. I didn't know they were one big old gang, but it's called the Demon Slayers, and that's how they do it. This is how the devil work. Like, I was watching somebody else, and then I'm like, oh, well, let me see who this other person's doing. They're doing the same thing. I didn't know they was all one group. So they all literally working together. I say all that to say that I did not specifically watch Lovy's channel. I only ended up watching stuff of him because he was being referenced so much. He also just is in some just Christian videos. I was just watching one the other day, and it was something about self-help, like mentally, and it was like him giving advice, and I was like, wait a second, I seen that here before. So anyway, back to what I was saying. This boy was shimmying. I'm not even kidding. He was doing the shimmy, like, and as he shimmied, the girl who was up there for the deliverance is like moving along with the shimmying and falls out as if like this is her being delivered now. And I'm just like, y'all are so far gone. To see that was straight, it just really was demonic. It's straight demonic. That whole group is, then like the more I watched it, the more I started seeing like, oh, that whole group, like, y'all are, I would not be surprised if y'all are part of the deceivers group. If you don't know, there are people that specialize in deceiving. Anyway, from there I ended up coming across another false prophet, this girl named Celestial. Anyway, this lady, I mean, I don't know. She's not in the same group as the people I was just talking about. She's a totally different girl. And she's just saying stuff. It was given very much 2012 false prophets, when people was just like, the world's gonna end today. You know, like the world's gonna end tomorrow. Like, that's what she reminds me of. She is not, let me tell you something. She's straight up, I don't know if she's, I wouldn't say, that's what, okay. I would not say she's part of like some deception group. And if she is, it's something that's not, it's something else. But I think she's just crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. I really do think she believes herself. She said a lot of stuff. I'm not even gonna, she said stuff that I don't want to repeat because I feel like if I say it wrong, it's bad. But she says stuff like, implying stuff about people's lives, implying stuff about the presidency, and she was like wrong about everything. And so, I mean, I gave my life story video. I have a channel where I've put my, like, the things I've seen out. Like, I've just learned, like, the real prophets, we're working with God, and things aren't just gonna go how he wants it to go. I don't know why real prophets and real stuff doesn't go anywhere, and I don't know why everyone right now is just so intrigued by the false prophets. But at the end of the day, I'm still who I am, and I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna suppress myself for anybody anymore. So with that being said, these people are lying, and here's why. Who in the world? They may not be completely lying. It is a chance that they have encountered a spirit that they believe is Jesus, and it's not him, and that he is telling them to do all of these things, and that is for Jesus, and it is not. That is very much possible. I like to hope things like that, because I don't like to hope. I don't like to think people would just straight up lie about God. I really don't, because that's so dangerous. Calling yourself a prophet and an apostle and stuff like that, you doing that for you, and you're doing that because you want people to give you like special attention and like worship sometimes even. I'm gonna just be 100% honest with you. When you encounter God, like for real, on a level where you have a gift of prophecy, you don't act like these people. I'm just being 100% honest with you. You do not act like these fools. They look like a bunch of fools, and that's, I don't want to. I have done a lot of stupid things in my life, but I have not done anything that dumb to mess with like God like that. Like, I'm trying to think of a way to say this so that you understand what I'm saying, as someone who may not have a prophetic gift. Just like, okay, so the number one way I know that these people are just making things up, or they're just not being 100% honest, is they do not have any like real fear of God, and they're too casual. They are entirely too casual. That's why I'm like, maybe they did meet somebody that said they was Jesus, and they was just real nice. I don't know. I don't know. But God and Jesus? Girl, don't get me started right now. You don't act like that. It's like you never would let anything slip out your mouth that is wrong. That is like, you would never. That's why I'm not sitting up here telling y'all none of the stuff that I know, because I'm not stupid. He's real. Listen, they don't think he's that real. I'm telling you, when you have encountered God, you not gonna do stupid stuff like that. Lying, talking about, God gave you a prophecy, talking about Celestial, for example. God gave you a prophecy, and then it didn't come to pass, and then you're talking about, well, God told you that there's a reason why that happened, and you're just leading people on. YouTube false prophets have been doing that since I was a kid. Look up Renee M. She's probably still doing it today, talking about the rapture puzzle. And the rapture was supposed to happen years ago, but God keeps delaying it. And so you need to keep following her. Come on. This is a false prophecy. If God tell you something, it's gonna happen. It's going to happen. It's not like he wastes time coming to talk to you for no reason and just saying stuff. No. Can you imagine, like, everything you know, everything you see around you, just like, I'm gonna say it like this and then I'll move on. From my encounters with God, like, he hasn't told me this. I'm just telling you what I think, like, to myself sometimes. I sometimes really think that, like, for example, like, the sun, the sun and the moon and, like, all the planets, they're so far away, like, light years. They say, like, light years away. And all the planets, like, the Earth is not even the biggest planet that we can see in our solar system. And there's, like, dinosaur fossils, trees, like, things that are just so big, and everything, all the like, the sun again is so far, and it's just like, I sometimes think, are these things far away? And is everything so big, or are we just really small as human beings? Because when he appears to me, it's like, it's just like, we don't have it's like, what's the words, man? It's like, you thought you knew what this was. You thought you really knew it all. Here comes someone that knows you, that just, you can't even see them. And they just said something to you, and it was true. And then they left. And it was true. And it remains true. That's all. But the way that they come, it's just like, you are God. Like, you can be like, oh, this is God. Because how did you do that? How did you just, like, how do you know me? How do you know everyone? Like, how did you know where I'm at? Like, where are you at? What is going on? How you can give me dreams? It's like, everything you are came from him, because he made us. So it's just kind of like, who the heck do you think you're talking about? Says told you something that wasn't true. And why are you calling yourself a prophet just because you hypnotized somebody? Is all that is. A lot of the deliverance stuff, I said I would move on. A lot of the deliverance is hypnosis. I mean, I don't know why no one has noticed this, but they're doing hypnosis on people and convincing you that this is the Holy Spirit taking over. And you can be susceptible. You can be a victim of false deliverance through a false deliverance minister or pastor or prophet or apostle, whatever they want to call themselves, because you're not focused on Jesus. You've been misled. So when you're praying and they're talking to you, they're putting you in more of a sleep state, and then they're able to affect you, and then you're really thinking this is God, and they're really messing with your unconscious mind, and it's dangerous. Also, yeah, I just felt like, I'm like, do you know, like, where can you show me in the Bible where it say you need to be snapping at somebody and say, now, do it now, get up, do this, close your eyes now? That's hypnosis. That's what they do. That's what they do when they hypnotize people. Don't say you don't think hypnosis is real when you're doing all of that, you know? So I'm just saying, be careful, because that's not what they did in the Bible. And God doesn't need you to do all the, you know, extra stuff to try to prove anything. It's through God. And if God tells you, like God told Moses, stretch your arm out and do this, then he did it. It wasn't, and once Moses did things that he wasn't supposed to do, that's why he was not allowed to enter the promised land. Because you don't just decide to do stuff. That's why, again, I'm very careful about talking on here and stuff, like, and what I'm doing. I'm very nervous to the point where I've even not done things that I was supposed to do because I just needed to be extra sure that God was okay with everything. So because I'm sorry for the lag on this, by the way. I don't know why. No. God is so real that, like, if you're somebody that has an entire ministry based on hypnotizing people, and like putting them into that hypnotic state and trying to convince them that this is God, and you're getting away with this and it seems to be working and things are just all going fine, I'm just letting you know you might end up in hell. I'm just letting you know, because especially if you just watch this video, because now you know. A, B, God has I feel like I'm just saying, I just feel like he's told you that you need to stop before, and he's been putting in your heart that maybe this isn't what you think it is, but you just have been just going with it anyway. You might go to hell. I'm just letting you know. You're gonna have multiple chances to stop. You're gonna have multiple millions of chances to stop and to just not do that anymore. But people get hooked into things, and so you just keep going. Also, I don't want to name drop nobody else, but there is a particular man on here that's very popular, and he's so popular that when I mentioned him to my mother, she knew who he was from years ago, because he generationally has been angering women. And he calls himself an apostle. He debates with people often, and he just says a lot of things. I had gotten cool with this guy, like not in real life, but I watched his videos, and I was just like, how are you just lying? Like, I watched him like add a part into the story of Ishmael and Isaac. Like, he just added in a whole extra story that only happened to Isaac, like Abraham only almost, you sacrificed him because Isaac was making fun of Ishmael, saying like, oh, a circumcision ceremony doesn't mean nothing to me, I'd give my life for God. Like, that never happened. It's not in the Bible. And he literally said it to everyone. He's another one I fear for, because he's been going on and on and on for years, being aggressive, debating, and saying things that are not true, and twisting the Bible mostly to offend women. Those kind of things can end you up in hell, because he says stuff like Jesus couldn't even raise his own self up, and saying stuff like he implying that he's more powerful and more important than Jesus. Like, you will go to hell. I mean, it's not hard to understand. So the pages that I have enjoyed have been a lot of like, I've really enjoyed like actually watching live streams of churches like in my area. I've also enjoyed, unfortunately the videos seem to be AI created, but like just stories like of people's lives and attaching it back to the Bible and talking about people in the Bible's lives. Like, there's a lot of good channels. I'll link some in the description, but like, it's just a lot of just good stuff. I mean, I'm gonna leave it at that, because I feel like that's all I gotta say. Be careful getting on YouTube with the YouTube ministers, because you don't know who you're watching. You don't know who these people are. Do your research. Well, I will see y'all next time. Love you. Bye.